moves.
So I had no idea there was a
This is
Kombat
like
Kast
the
today,
standard
so
combo
I thought
ender.
maybe you guys would be interested
Nothing
in
really
getting
neat about
my
it, except the amplify
live reaction to these. So far it's
has
been pretty
slow
interesting.
attack, and it'll actually come out even on block.
Awesome.
And then the neat thing is, this has a new mechanic of breaking breakaway.
Explain.
If the opponent tries to break away,
What is this? What is this?
he'll actually hit them out of it.
What?
And
Why?
amplify pops up for a combo.
So you lose all your meter and you get comboed for it.
He has some really interesting ways in game to
It's
get.
not even
combos.
interesting. That's
Yes,
just bullshit.
So, he tries to break away. Doesn't want to eat that ender. And then he's actually going to eat a full combo
That's
after
so
that.
stupid.
So that is pretty
That is
risky
so
for
stupid.
Spawn.
I'll abuse
but
it. Don't get me wrong.
Massively risky for the opponent.
That is so
They-
Yeah,
stupid.
the mind game becomes very interesting. Are they going to break away when they do? If they don't, now he's right beside you. Like, what are you
Yes.
doing?
And these are all part of his base kit.
Yes, the
Okay.
War Club is in everything so far is base kit, which
Great.
means also, because of the way the gauge works, if you break away, get hit by the War Club, get re-pumped up by the Amplified, you don't have any more gauge to break away. So you're just eating
Spent
that
it.
combo.
You spent it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
pretty awesome. So if you don't like dealing with breakaways, Spawn will be a great character for you.
I've never used a breakaway, so I'll be fine.
You've tried.
I've tried.
So lastly, this is my favorite.
That's so
move.
stupid.
Okay.
Aesthetically, I think it's awesome. He has this phantom wave, and the idea here is that he's actually causing the opponent to have an illusion that their skin has burnt off and they're surrounded by flies.
So the damage is
Kind of
mental.
gross.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this has two.
It's in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
One is,
Decided to put meat in the game, I
oh,
guess.
I should probably turn off breakaway. Let's assume I've scared him into not breaking away.
Right.
Right.
It has a restand if you do it regularly. He gets a little decent amount of advantage. He can do a jab or a throw mix-up.
Restand.
You can go into his 1-1-2 or his throws. Or if you amplify it, it is his big, juicy, highest damaging ender. And it leaves them actually still pretty close. So,
Right. Especially with the chains, and you can
309.
start
That's
poking
not too
right,
bad.
right from there. Perfect.
So this is like the bread and butter combo ender. You can either choose keep the pressure going or cash out for definitely big damage if you amplify it. And you look
229.
awesome doing it.
Cool.
I think that's
Who knows
really
what
I agree.
combos
Yeah,
they'll
no.
Right.
have, though.
Style points are very important.
So that's space loadout. And now I added one more move that's not in a tournament variation because I just think it's cool.
Okay.
It's called Invoking the Legion, and it's a buff that he puts on. And he gets Fatal Blow early. You can see it, just see his life bar.
Yep.
Now, it
Oh,
will
that's
do less
interesting.
damage than it would do, but he has access to it. It has the armor.
That's a good
and
that's
his
a good way
into
to
is
balance that.
interesting. He throws a grenade at you. So let's check this out. The guns, I love it every time.
And you can direct as well.
Exactly.
his
Yeah.
fatal blow.
He actually
You can
has
direct the fatal blow. What does that mean?
hold up. He'll throw it up in the air
That was nothing there.
as an
Oh,
anti.
I see.
Yep.
Now,
That's slow
if
anti-air,
you want
but
to wait till you only have 30% and you do the buff, it actually stacks it, and now he throws 3 and does increased damage.
But I mean, the whole reward thing. If you do it first thing in the match, you don't get it at 30%. You
Right.
can, again, it doesn't change the rules of what a fatal
Yes,
blow
it
is.
still has
okay,
the cooldown.
it doesn't do a whole lot
So
more
yeah,
damage,
you have to
I
decide,
guess,
do you
but
want to use the buff early? You could do it like... You
As
could
a
literally
round
do it-
ender in the first
yeah.
round.
It could be the first thing you do and you haven't even been hit if you want.
this
I love that
character is
idea.
going to be
Yeah.
a
I
problem.
do too.
Or you save it. So that's a space loadout.
That's awesome.
So let's go into tournament variation 1.
Locked and loaded.
You've really outdone yourself this time on the costume choices. I think you did
I
really
think
well.
his gear is really rad.
Okay.
And what's cool is
Oh, that's
Todd
cool.
McFarlane really gave us this ability to like kind of use classic stuff. Like Commando Spawn was actually an action figure, but also
Oh, I didn't know
kind
that.
of our own take. Like the third one is like our version of Spawn.
Yep.
And
He's got like
he
one
really
leg
allowed us to
bracelet.
go ham on like colors and stuff.
That's
which is
emo as
cool.
fuck.
You can have a yellow Spawn if you want. It's very, very rad.
And you dress this one up as a commando because
He is gun based. So the first
let's
move
see
I
it.
gave him. Oh, by the way, I want to clarify. When I say I gave him, I'm not the designer. I mean, just for the loadout.
well, also, but this is the tournament mode, so this is like, right?
Yeah. So,
Tournament, so you didn't do any like this is what you'll get from tournament
I
level
set up
1.
this loadout. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
not me being like, and then I ended this move. So anyway, an anti-air gun,
Ooh.
and it can be amplified.
Them guns are blazing.
And then he absolutely goes ballistic,
Hey.
Hits.
which I think is just, I did not even mean that. I think that to me, if you just said, what is peak spawn?
It's a walking
It's
shooting.
this.
Absolutely.
I've
I
never
love the
really been a
idea that he
fan
has
of
these
like
hell powers, but because
special
they're
move
somewhat
anti-airs because
limited,
they feel like your damage
He's
is
like, I'm
limited.
going to use my gun.
Unless,
Yeah, yeah,
unless you have something like Shao Kahn's air grab, for
And you can
example,
see
that
this
has
will
like a
juggle
larger
if
hitbox.
As I say, so that's an amplify of the upward gun.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cool.
Then he has
174
low
damage
gun.
for a bar though.
And that you can use. It's kind of slow, so they could fuzzy it, but you can mix up overhead and low gun. You can also hold it.
That doesn't look like very
and
fuzzyable.
cancel the hold. And then what's really cool
It is plus on block.
is it's a low parry with a crushing blow.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
the first time you parry it,
Yep.
out parry a low,
Yes, a low.
it is a
So
And
not
the
a
same
mid.
amplify from the anti-air gun is also applied to this.
So he's just blazing guns
Yeah,
nonstop.
he's non-stop blazing. He's just
I love the chances the designers took with this character with some of the crushing blow requirements and those sort of things. Some really
32%,
innovative things with
nice.
Spawn, and you know
Great job.
it's really cool that that's happening with Spawn, such a iconic character that we've always wanted to have.
yeah.
Absolutely.
It's also neat how our designers went and our effects team and artist went crazy with like he has the plasma bolts, guns, fire, chains.
He's got it all.
Our effects guys really had a lot of work for this character.
Absolutely. Very prop heavy. He's
Yes.
good.
And
And
then
I mean, and you know, cloth.
I mean
Yeah, cloth.
So
that's another
all
the
for this
experience that
variation.
our effects team and
Anti-air gun and the low
animators
gun?
got with Injustice with all
Right.
those capes. Like
Well, also the Brainiac's Tentadrills and all
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like that all just helps us build to what we have now.
It's funny you listen, you read Twitter a lot, and a lot of people will be talking about like, you know, people who maybe have never made games talk about how they think games are made, and sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they're right.
Right.
But even people who've probably never made a
Most of
game,
the
they're
time
like,
they're wrong.
I bet that cloth is tough.
oh
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't even have to know how to make games to know that that's a real difficult thing, and especially because it is involved so deeply in his combat style.
Oh,
So,
I mean,
Shout out to Laura and Judy.
shout
oh,
outs.
yeah,
Shout
like
outs. I don't know who they are, but
from a QA perspective, cloth is. I'm not claiming we catch them all, but we catch a lot. For every clipping cloth thing you find, there are 300 in Jira.
Right.
So lastly, he gets a dive kick, or I guess it'd be a
of course.
dive cape.
Okay.
Why not?
It's a pretty standard dive kick. He does not have an amplify. He does not get a combo. It is usually unsafe on block depending on when he does it. But it's just good to have a little extra dose of air mobility when he controls the ground so well because of the gun move.
You know, also right now, current meta, a lot of times when people get knocked down, they jump,
Right.
and now using like dive kick out of jump, you get you out of some hairy situations.
Yes. He
And
can
it
use it.
covers a huge area.
That's the big thing.
Like it covers a huge area.
While the reward is not the best, the space control is pretty impressive.
Right.
Yeah, you
It's
use
not
that
a
to
foot.
punish
It's a
projectiles or
cape.
something
It's
like
a
that.
dive cape.
So let's go to variation 2, which is the one I use.
Okay.
This one is your standard kind of combo heavy one where there's not a lot of gimmicks here.
Oh, that's a nice
I love
looking
the
spot.
cape.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
The
So-
cowl is very cool. Yeah.
He gains the shoulder charge, and if you amplify it, he gets
Oh,
a big
nice.
combo starter.
I like the animation of that. That's really cool.
And that's kind of the showcase of this variation.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can hit confirm it off everything.
Unsafe.
Absolutely unsafe. It's
Yeah, should be.
It is
It's
pretty much
slow, actually.
the prototypical combo starter. You're like, look, I just want to do strike throw mix-ups. I want to get big damage.
We think of
Give me
like
the
Shao
variation.
Kahn or something.
I don't care about setups. You have that. But if you are a creative player, his second move in it is this
Ooh, a
glide.
float.
And he can do a close version, a far version, and he can actually do it twice. As he's about to land, he can mess it up.
I want to give you some props. When we did this earlier, you did it like 5 times in a row without
Yeah.
an issue.
Well, now I'm freaking
The
out.
pressure's on, the
Yeah,
pressure's
now
on.
I'm freaking out. This is bad. All right, one more chance.
Oh, I love
Are you,
bloopers.
are you truly washed?
Oh, there it
Okay,
is.
there
There
we
it is. There
go.
it is. There it is.
You were
This
woo!
isn't even hard. It's that I messed it up the first time, freaked out. This is why
got inside your own head.
How do you do it? Can I try it?
it's just down back 2. This is
Twice?
really bad. Yeah.
Oh, YouTube. I get it.
You don't want to go over. There you go.
Oh, I see what you're doing. I got this.
She's not
What
doing
the heck
anything.
is
You're
the
doing
point
it.
of
Yep, there we
that?
go.
The rest is
Now I gotta try it. Now
I guess to get him on zoning, maybe?
Just let me try it once. Down back 2. Oh, okay, I'm done.
Yep.
It's way harder.
This is why we watch Final Combat and
Yes.
do not participate in Final Combat.
That is true.
All right, so variation 3 is, I think, maybe the most interesting.
So that
right.
variation seemed very lackluster to me.
Oh, this is I
I
like
mean,
this
maybe
one.
you just can't zone it because of
You
the,
told me
well,
that
I mean,
2
essentially, I'm
was
just going to
mine.
throw your
I like
folder,
this
but
one.
First off,
Ooh. Yeah.
that
Oh, that's
cape,
pretty
those
sick.
shoulder things, that's great. Okay, so this is a chain-based one. So the first thing he
got no
gains
skin.
is actually a stance.
Chain reaction. That makes sense.
okay.
So if you just let it go, he does this anti-air. But if you hold down, he does a low.
That's so cool.
So the low
okay,
takes up
that's
a
tricky.
ton of space. And if the opponent's controlling the ground, jumping is kind of what you want to do to beat it.
That's awesome.
This
So you're
has a
kind of
crushing
reacting
blow.
on what the opponent's doing
Opponent's
while
gonna
you're
do
doing.
it.
So there's only...
If you hold the stance out, it will get the crushing blow if he does the low.
Okay, that's
This can
interesting.
also be used, again, as a low instead of the overhead. Then he gains
Okay.
a
So we've
ground
got the
chain.
mix.
It's a low-hitting move. It takes up almost the full screen.
Did you
Actually,
say a
that's
lot?
I was gonna say, yeah, it looks like the full
You
screen.
say a lot of real estate.
A lot of real estate. And
Okay, so that's his
amplified
projectile, pretty
is
much.
extra damage, and the big thing is it's safe on blocks.
And so it tracks too, right?
yes,
Yeah.
I don't have to do close, medium, or far. It
Right.
just happens.
Then we saw this from the trailer against the chain Scorpion versus Spawn
Yes.
chain battle.
Chain battle.
So I think this being safe on block is a really big deal. You can do all
This will
these
be kind of a
really
zoning
great
variation,
things, and then
if you like zoning.
it also gives you a mix-up option that's safe, because this is unsafe. And then lastly, one of the coolest moves is this chain grab, and this is a command grab. And what's cool is
Oh,
you'll
that's
hit
command grab?
any point. You'll hit it close, pretty far away.
Are you
This is a down
serious?
back-
Okay,
this is
that's
a down
kind of
back
stupid.
forward input.
It's a back forward.
Oh, just back
yes,
forward?
Yes.
Back
Oh,
forward? It's not even a
that's why I
hard
was thinking
input?
it could come out. I thought I was doing down back forward.
And he also still has his necroblasts as well.
Yes.
Somebody else had a move like
What?
that in Injustice, I think. I can't remember
And
who.
so the weakness is if they're crouch blocking, it will not hit them. They have to be stand blocking. So you are going to have to get them to stand block, but then if you can do
This
that,
will definitely be the variation
this
that'll
is
be
pretty
playing.
good. And if you amplify it and hold it, he turns invisible.
Why though?
And this has a really
He
cool
already
crushing
has so
blow
much
itself.
stuff. Why give
If
him
he's
that too?
invisible, and you do the move again, he gets the crushing blow. So a really fun thing to do is turn
It's hard to
invisible,
watch, but
and now the opponent doesn't know where you are, so you can sweep.
why does he need that?
You
This
could
character is going to be
repeat it,
so stupid.
Or
I mean, I guess that's
It'd
the
be a great
point because he's like the
opportunity
flagship
to get that
character.
one.
But
So they don't know you're missing the first thing.
exactly.
he's got
Right.
so,
So can you
much
get
stuff
poked
to
out of the
do.
invisibility, or
Yes.
you're just invisible?
If he gets it out, he actually takes 20% more damage.
Wow.
And while he's invisible, he does 20% less.
Less.
So,
Good to know.
yeah, he is kind of taking a risk to go into it, but I think it's very, very powerful. I think it's one of the better invisibilities we've done.
And something to reiterate, it is not like, if we look back to a game like Injustice 2 with Swamp Thing, there's not a near, medium, far.
Correct.
This is a
Right,
any
that's who it was,
distance you
Swamp
can
Thing.
grab the thing. And it just, I mean, I love this one because the mind games become really fun then. Like, do you go invisible and then they think you're doing it again, so you run up and throw? You know what I mean? There's a lot of different things you can do in
Right.
that situation,
That's
which
true.
is really neat.
Huh.
So,
It does take a defensive stamina, so he can't just,
Oh, that's true.
turn invisible
Willy-nilly.
without a cost. But,
All right, well, I think
but
that's all the
that's not a bad cost to
gameplay
pay.
they're
It's a
going
literally
over. So
unseeable.
thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did,
Do
leave
that.
a like because it really helps
I
me
was
out.
thinking
Subscribe
we have
if you
some
haven't.
people on chat
Because
last night.
we're gonna make videos almost every single day. I got distracted. I was trying to shut them up. Hashtag Bonehawks. We'll see you guys in the next one.
I am steward of Chronicles vision. Fate has been so cruel to you.